Two, JEON and VOLPI, have not faced each other since 2015, and you know that's a big jump, right? Even in 2 years, people make big jumps, and VOLPI herself has made really big jumps. It's really in the last 2 years she's become really dominant in head-to-head with Derek-Vlasova.
Well, JEON's had a nice run today. She's made the top 4. The odds are that VOLPI should win this bout and face Derek-Vlasova, which is what we expected at the beginning of the night. But that's the reason we play the game, to see who's going to win. So JEON's a very experienced competitor, and let's see if she can neutralize VOLPI.
JEON started with Yanaoka in the 64, and then she fenced Rhodes, a wild card U.S. fencer, a young fencer that made it to the competition as a wild card and made the 32. She fenced her and beat her 15-5. Then she fenced Fanny Kreis of Hungary and beat her 15-10. And then she went on to beat Leonie Ebert 15-11 in the table of 8 to make the semifinals. And here we see the athletes come in. VOLPI, Alice VOLPI of Italy, started off her day defeating Mori of Japan, then Azuma of Japan, and then she fenced Ivanova, excuse me, of Russia, 15-7, and then beat her teammate Bettini of Italy, 15-4 to make the semifinals today. So here we have the second semifinal match.
And from Italy, Alice VOLPI.
I see you dancing, Jeff. Jeff has some dance moves here. Sorry you can't see them.
Well, JEON is our first left-handed fencer of the night. You do see a disproportionate amount of lefties in our sport. Iris,
well, we watched a couple of lefties today, especially in the men's event. There'll be some lefties, but I don't know if I see a disproportionate number, but lefties are definitely hard to fence. I mean, you were a lefty, right? Did you find it hard to fence another lefty?
Initially I did, but once you start fencing them, you get used to them. But keep in mind, at the Rio Olympics, Iris, 25% of the entire fencing field was left-handed, that's quite different than the 10% of the normal populace.
I just have to put it out there, I appreciate that JEON is 34. So it makes me feel like I could probably fence still.
It's quite amazing.
What do you think, Jeff?
I think so, because we today earlier had 15-year-old Xander Rhodes of New Jersey, a sophomore at Columbia High School in Maplewood, who came here hoping to get into the thing, getting into this Grand Prix, and when someone pulled out, and she won her first bout, 15 years old.
The average age, and I was doing the math a little bit, and sorry if this is wrong for anyone who's a mathematician, but you know, the top 8 men's foilists have an average age about 30, 29, 30. Women's foilists have about an average age of 26, 27. Why do you think that there's this sort of, they're not older, but for sports, I mean, that's...
It seems that the fencers do peak in their late 20s. I mean, that seems to be the case. As to why there's a difference between the men and the women's average age, that could just be a cyclical thing right now. I'm not really sure what the answer is.
Yeah, but the part of it is that there's 2 fencers in the top 8. Casara, who we've seen fence today, and also Richard Cruz, who isn't here. He's also 35. And here we have the second semifinal bout. I believe the name on the piece is incorrect, because we just saw Derek-Vlasova on the right is actually VOLPI of Italy.
Unless Derek-Vlasova wins and she fences herself.
That's tough to do, isn't it?
You bet.
What are we going to see from VOLPI?
I think we'll see more of what we just saw right there. Look for her to attack.
The Koreans are very active on the piste. JEON is no exception. And here her feet kind of went past her.
JEON started too fast with too big a step, causing her to lose a little bit control of her point. You fencer wants to start slow with a small step, and so you can control your point better. And there you saw VOLPI just score on a counterattack.
Yeah. And as I said, part of the game for the Korean women is to utilize very fast footwork, very athletic. VOLPI is, and we've talked about it too, she comes forward. She's got the Italian style where it's a lot of pressing to push to draw something, and VOLPI's excellent at infighting. We've talked about infighting being part of the game and a big part of this in foil fencing. And Volpi's very good at it and forces it.
We haven't seen much of it yet tonight, but look for some of that infighting. It's really a very special talent. Referee says attack de droite, attack from the right by Volpi, off target. Let's watch. Not the best angle there, but as you can see on the right, Volpi started with the point threatening the valid target just a little bit ahead.
And there is a classic Volpi action, and she's hit righties when they hit lefties, often angled to the chest.
And the referee said, toujours l'attaque de droite. It's still the attack from the right. Even though JEON might be hitting first, as long as Volpi is continuous with her action, she has the right of way.
Again, if you're just tuning in, it is Volpi on the right. They haven't changed the name on the piste. Another nice angled hit to the stomach there.
I think JEON's going to have to change that up. The piece that you talk about, by the way, is 14 meters long by about 2 meters wide. If a fencer retreats off the back end of the piece, it's a point for the opponent.
That's still Alice Volpi's attack, and she pulls away 4-0 against JEON.
So JEON's tactics right now are not working. Volpi's attack, watch the attack from the right. Watch the point threatening the target. And JEON's going to have to change this up here a little bit because she's just counterattacking right now. It's 3-4 times in a row, and she's down 4-0.
A nice parallel post. That's the example of, I've got a plan in mind, I'm going to come forward, but I've been surprised by something, so I'm ready. Parallel post. And that's the stuff you train over time.
Toujours l'attaque de droite. It's still the attack from the right. We hear that over and over from the referee.
Part of it, Jeff, I think I watched the arm a little bit. If the arm kind of pulls back at all, because you were talking about the threatening the point, I mean, Alice Volpi kind of pulls her arm back a little bit and sometimes even pulls it back more towards the end. And I think sometimes that makes a difference for her whether or not she gets the attack or not.
Sometimes she pulls the arm back a little because the opponent's stepping in, but as long as it's still moving forward, oh, that's a straight attack to the open target there. And JEON has no, she can't figure out what to do right now. Watch on the right. Here it comes. Beat, attack to the stomach.
She gets a nice angulation there.
That was a very nice touch. Which was a different target. Up until now, Volpi's been attacking to the flank under the arm of JEON. And she needs to do more of that.
There's that infighting we were talking about, but usually Volpi is very good at getting her point on there.
And hit off target on that one on a counter riposte. See, what's happening here is that Volpi is causing JEON to fall short on the attack. Her distance is perfect as Volpi. Once JEON is short, then Volpi can make her new attack. It's almost too easy for her.
Volpi is definitely showing her dominance here. She's ahead by 6. I haven't really seen JEON make any sort of big changes here. What do you think?
Nothing so far. Maybe she has to do something second intention, push Volpi down the strip and maybe look for a parry riposte like this. Push her, draw Volpi out, and then make a parry. Let's see. Asking for a replay is JEON.
She thinks it's her attack and it's continuous, but the referee is saying, nope, I think you're stopping. Volpi's going, so it's Volpi's attack. Let's see it here.
Well, you can certainly make a case for the attack from the left there. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee changes this call. it did seem to me that VOLPI was reacting to JEON's attack. And the referees will look at it. And here comes the call.
This is referee Pascal Maget of France.
Attack to gauche.
So he saw what you saw.
Yes, and good for him. Sometimes referees have big egos, they don't like to change the call, but at the end of the day, the best referees do what's right for the fencers and make the call correctly.
So there she is making, I feel like she's stepping forward now, kind of doing that second intention, not just going straight for an action.
Just break the tempo, make VOLPI react a little bit, because up until now, VOLPI's been controlling the dance the entire bout.
Two very immediate things that you can change that I've talked to the students I work with is you can either change the distance or you can change the timing.
Or you could change the coach.
Well, Maget still sees it as the riposte, and VOLPI wants to see the video. I think everyone has a style of how they ask for video. I think we're seeing that here.
Yes. When the video first came, people would make the little sign like a TV screen. Today we saw one of the fencers make it sign like it was a 65-inch TV screen.
I think that was Korobeynikova.
Here comes the referee. Let's see what he says.
Il y a seulement un faire, c'est l'attaque, la parade, la riposte qui touche.
Maintains the original call.
Which means VOLPI loses one of her video replays. Here we can see it's parry,
Yes,
riposte.
yes. JEON came forward. VOLPI made the attack, which is parried right there. And the riposte right there.
And that mask wasn't target until recently, probably in the last.
You could see the bottom part of the bib and the mask is electrified. It's got a cord there, so it's a valid target now. So, simultaneous attacks as the referee, but only VOLPI's light goes on, so she gets the touch.
I think JEON actually stepped on her foot wrong. I mean, I don't think we can really appreciate how fast and how strong these women are coming together, or these fencers are coming together and hitting.
But they do say that some of these blades move as quickly as 100 miles per hour.
There, you can see how strong the two of them are.
And you can see that JEON's front foot stepped sort of on VOLPI's front foot, and she twisted the ankle. Now, if there is an injury that's verified by the medical personnel, the fencer would get a 5-minute timeout. But in this case, it's not even being requested by JEON.
45 seconds left in the first period. This is first of 3.
Is VOLPI asking for the replay? She is.
VOLPI is asking for the replay. Her coach, Giovanna Trellini, one of my favorite fencers of all time, has now stepped up and asked as well.
So this is the third time the two fencers have asked for a replay. The referee has changed one of the calls, maintained the second, and here comes the third.
So VOLPI looks like she's in preparation, and JEON makes the attack. And
VOLPI has no, do you hear that? No more replay challenges for her. Very early in the bout to do that.
I think a smart fencer uses, that's a nice action, attack. I think a smart fencer uses these replays also to know, hey, what is the referee calling as an attack, and what does he see, or what does she see?
Well, that might be true, but even if you're number 2 in the world and defending world champion, I think it's a mistake to burn both of your replays in the first half of the bout like that.
Well, right now she's ahead by 4.
Referee says the attacks were at the same time, the remise or the second actions were at the same time, and therefore there's no right away and there's no touch.
Oh, JEON is slowly making her comeback. She's changing up that tempo that we talked about. And now really nice attack with the changed up tempo, and she's within 3.
Here comes JEON on the left. Feint, feint, and attack. So
Very nice.
It's the footwork. It's really the footwork that set up that whole action there. She's moving very quickly. I don't look for VOLPI to cede ground or go backwards very quickly on this action.
She comes forward. JEON is ready. and comes within 2.
En garde. Prête, allez.
Here comes Volpi.
Oh, that was, I don't know if that's luck or not, but now she's within striking distance here of tying it up with VOLPI, world number 2.
Volpi's attack missed. Here comes Volpi on the right. Well, Volpi was coming on the right there.
But you can see how active their feet are. I mean, that's still a great angle to just see how active their feet are and how they have to constantly be moving.
En garde.
And if you saw at the end there, JEON ducked, causing Volpi to miss here on the counterattack. It's 8-9, and the complexion of this bout changed in the last 20 seconds.
VOLPI's still trying to make the attack, smoothing it out a little bit more, perhaps.
En garde. Prête, allez. La remise de droite.
Still 16 seconds, and like we said before in the last match, all the fencers are really fencing out the whole 3 minutes, where they haven't been before.
Referee says that JEON's coming forward with her arm back in preparation. Her feet are moving, her arm is not. Volpi found the time and made the attack into that preparation.
VOLPI's able to maintain her lead. That was a really nice, I feel like she smoothed out her attacks a little bit more.
It wasn't just an attack, it was a beat attack, and that's the 3rd time she's made that beat attack and hit in the open area in the stomach. What, beat? And she makes that angle and hits in the stomach. It's the 3rd time in the first half of this bout we've seen that exact action.
En garde.
So with 15 seconds to go, it was a 1-touch lead. With 6 seconds to go, and look what's happened here.
Now it's a 4-touch lead.
Just like that, the
and
whole
we're
thing
fencing
changed.
it out, right?
Yeah.
So the importance of fencing out the last couple of seconds.
Prête, allez.
Another attack, taking the chance. I'm not sure I would have taken that chance, but VOLPI went for it.
She went for it. Wow, it's amazing what happened in the last 15 seconds here. We wouldn't have seen this a year ago in the International Fencing Federation. Both fencers would have just walked away and gone to the break.
Wow, that was a big last couple of 15 seconds, and now we're into the break. VOLPI goes to her coach, Giovanna Trellini, and JEON goes to her coach, the Korean coach. And now we have about a minute of break. So what do you think that JEON should do now? She's within a couple points, but VOLPI just 2 away from making it to the finals.
If I'm JEON right now, I cannot defend against Volpi's beat attack to my stomach. She's hit 4 times on it, and not even close. So I'm going to go down fighting with some other action. I'm going to push Volpi, because if I go back in defense, Volpi's picking me off at will. I can't lose the bout on that action.
Right, and we talked about JEON just breaking up the tempo and being able to hit by breaking up the tempo going forward. But as you said before, I don't think VOLPI ever gives up too much ground, so it's going to take a lot of work to try to push her back.
Yeah, she likes to go forward, for sure. Interesting, Iris, in the first part of the bout, VOLPI was attacking JEON's flank under her elbow, and she hasn't been doing that anymore. Now she's attacking to the stomach and been very successful.
We're now in the second round of the second semifinals against VOLPI of Italy and JEON Sook. And VOLPI makes her nice attack and is now within 1 touch of making it to the finals with Dara Glazova of Russia.
It's almost like VOLPI, watch this attack. Again, the feint, and she angles it to the stomach. It's almost like she's taking a lesson from her coach and just doing the same move over and over again.
Yeah, but that says a lot about a really good fencer, too. She's able to hit the same spot in different angles and in different parts of the piece.
Some people have the philosophy, don't keep doing the same thing over and over. My philosophy is, I'm going to do it over and over until you figure it out.
Very nice action, and then that's that kind of jumpy tempo that we're kind of breaking up that tempo. She still has to make up a lot more ground.
VOLPI just counterattacked there. I don't look for her to do that again. Referee says attack au fer de droite. Beat attack from VOLPI on the right.
En garde. Prête, allez.
VOLPI again, listening to your direction, not changing it up, going to the same target. Beautiful action. Volpi moves to the finals with Glazova, and we kind of predicted this. These top two fencers have been kind of going back and forth between who's first, right? Who's on first?
It's sort of like Nadal and Federer. These two
Here,
are
this
having
nice action here, Perry.
Here comes the attack. Watch her angle
This is
her
the
blade
Volpi,
into
we're
the
gonna
stomach.
call it.
6 times out of 15 touches on that action.
Very nice. I think we're going to just coin it the Volpi.
That is the Volpi.
Against a lefty, and we'll see what she does against a righty, Glazova. So now our finals for women are set. We're going to take a short break, and then up next are the men.